Today on Nostalgic Nick-Nacks, we sit by the fireside with our friends from Chrono Trigger. Hello and welcome to another episode of Nostalgic Nick-Nacks. My name is Ryan and this is my retro gaming Perler Beading YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a special one. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make one of the most iconic scenes in all of gaming history. I'm talking about the Campfire Scene from Chrono Trigger. This scene is so important for so many fans of Chrono Trigger out there, and I absolutely adore this scene. I'm going to be showing you how to make it, how to make all the characters, how to set everything up. It's just such an important, special scene. If you've never played Chrono Trigger, I highly recommend it. I grew up with it, and there's so many special moments in the game. This scene kind of transcends all of them. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that today and why it's so special. But before we get to that, if you are new to Perler Beading, please check out this video up here. I give you everything you're going to need to enjoy Perler Beading and to do what's in this video. So check out also the links below. If you order from those links, they are Amazon affiliate links, so I will get a little bit of money back from that. I really appreciate it. It's a great way to support the channel. I love TopTierBeads, and I am proud to say I'm an affiliate partner with TopTierBeads now. So if you check out the link in the description below, you will get 15% off your first order with TopTierBeads. So check that out below. It's a great discount and they do some fantastic work, so I'm so happy to support them. And if you support them in this, then you'll also support my channel. Thank you so much for checking them out, and let's get on with the video. Okay, with that out of the way, let's take a look at the wonderful sprites that make up this iconic campfire moment in Chrono Trigger. So first up in this scene we have Chrono, and Chrono is actually laying down. He's gone to sleep in this scene. One of the first to go to sleep. I guess he had a hard day. So there's Chrono. I love the way his hair is flowing down. And you see the back of his head here, where his feet are positioned. Of course we have Frog. And Frog is always fantastic in everything he does. But you can see he's got some great green shading here. He is thinking about the impact of what this conversation is around the campfire. So here he is in deep thought. Next, we have Magus. And Magus is leaning up against the tree. And Magus is thinking as well, what is his part to play in all of this? Magus is thinking a little bit more outside of himself. In a lot of the parts of the game, he can be seen as selfish and power hungry, but in this moment, he's thinking. He's thinking about his impact on the world here. Next, we have an interesting sprite. This is Marl. And Marl is actually reaching for the fire, or trying to get warm here. But in this sprite, it's very interesting because the only time I can think that I saw this sprite in the game, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but maybe it's a very unique sprite for this moment. So there's Marl. Wonderful. Next up we have Ayla, and Ayla is just sitting and thinking. She is almost in a meditation pose here, pretty much. Her eyes are wide open though. So there is Ayla. Wonder what she's thinking. Next we have kind of a pair, and they're always sort of operating as a pair throughout the game. Here we have Luca and Robo, and I love these sprites because you can see that Luca is working on Robo. She's tinkering away, fixing things, because he has been toiling away before this scene for years and years and years, I think maybe 100 years, on growing this forest for Fiona. And you can see the love and care that she's putting into Robo in this moment, and Robo is so worn out and so tired here. You can see it in his eyes. I think he's powered down here or not operational at the moment. So you can see that reflected in his eyes. And then last but not least, you cannot have a campfire scene without the campfire. So I chose this fire. This is actually quite a large bonfire here. But you can see we've got the very tall fire. I looked at the picture after making this and saw that the fire in the scene is actually a smaller fire, but I went ahead with this. And you can see the bottom here. I actually made this on my own without following a sprite pattern, so I probably could have changed up some of the colors a little bit, but you know what's really great about Perler Beading is that you can try out your own stuff and see how it looks. So when I was watching my sister play this game back when it was released, we came across this scene and didn't really expect it at the time, just exploring the game and discovering it. And they start talking about this entity. Who is in charge of what's going on here? Who is motivating our actions? Are we in charge of our actions? Is something guiding us along? And for years people have speculated on who this might be. Is it Scala? Is it another person in charge? Is it God? And as a Christian, I feel like it is God guiding them in the game. But this is completely open to interpretation. So I think it's great that they left it open-ended. And it's really fantastic they even had this conversation in the first place. It's a moment of quiet reflection. And I think that's something that's missing sometimes in modern games, is this moment to stop and reflect. And I hope looking at this scene that I put together today, it helps you to get a moment of stillness and reflection and patience. Okay, so those are some of my thoughts about Chrono Trigger and this campfire scene. Let's go ahead and get into making the characters and all that fun stuff. Without further ado, get your beads, get your boards, and let's get to beading. Okay everybody, so now comes the part where you have to flip your project. I recommend cutting out a big piece of cardboard, and that way you have full coverage when you're flipping your precious Perler project, because you don't want any beads to fall out. So here are our Perler characters. We've made them all. They're all ironed. And here are our stands. So now all that's left is to put everything together here. Let's get to it. And here are all of the sprites put together, and they look really great. If you have any problems with the stands, just remember that you don't want to over iron them. If you over iron them, they will be too tight and the character won't fit in the stand. And if you under iron them, they will just fall out. So it's a delicate balance you have to play here, but the more you practice it, the better it will be. Okay, let's get to the fun part where we set up our campfire. So we got our perlers on the stands, and now we're ready to set up this campfire scene. I just wanted to show you a couple of things that I have to make the scene really pop. I have this, it's actually a display stand I got from Amazon, and this stand is really great for displaying video games and boxes, any kind of Funko Pops or whatever. But I thought it was cool to add to this scene because I had to elevate Robo and Luca because the campfire was too tall. The other thing that you're gonna need if you want this scene to pop is a puck light of some kind. You could even have a tiny light. There are all kinds of different lights out there, of course, but I'll put a link for puck lights in the description below. But you turn it on here and you see the light illuminating. Of course, they're really great, so just a standard puck light. It creates a great atmosphere so you can feel like you're around the campfire with these characters. I just thought I'd take a few moments and just think about how iconic this scene is. There are moments in all video games that bring us closer, that teach us to do the right thing, that teach us to care for others. Such an iconic moment, an iconic game, great characters. And that's it. That is how to make this wonderful campfire scene from Chrono Trigger. I hope you enjoyed this video today and it gave you some stillness, and maybe you reflected on this moment in the game whenever you played it. And if you haven't played it, again, I strongly encourage you to play Chrono Trigger. It is absolutely one of the best and one of my favorites. Thank you so much for being here today. If you enjoyed this content, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you, and I appreciate all of you comment on the videos. If you have something to say and you try this, or you have a question for me about perler beading, please don't hesitate to ask and comment down below. I appreciate all of you, and I'll be back again soon for more perler beading goodness. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you, and I'm going to have more perler beading goodness coming soon. I pray that you have a great day. Until next time, Contemplative Frog says, happy beading.